Hey y'all, I'm Zoe Joyelle.
And I'm Alexis Simone.
And this is the Soundwaves podcast,
where we dive deep into the rhythms and stories that shape our world.
Yes, ma'am. So, if you're new here, we just want to say welcome. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave us any feedback. We definitely love all the feedback that you guys have been leaving in the past week.
Yes.
We're slowly but surely creeping into our 20-somethings episode, so we're so very excited
about
that. And if you aren't new, as you can tell, we got some tans.
Yes.
We were just out in DR having a good
living
old
our
time.
life.
So we're not gonna be having a mocktail today. We're gonna be drinking water because we're still hydrating from.
We just got back last night, y'all. Okay, it's time.
My girl said we don't need any more tails, mocktails, cocktails, nothing.
Nothing. I can't even open it.
Okay. I haven't drank this one, so you can just drink it.
Oh, thank you. I'm a little parched.
Yeah. Okay.
No more tails for me.
Lovely.
Yes, it's so refreshing. We don't need no more tails. But okay, y'all. So today for our icebreaker, like she just mentioned, we just got back from being in the Dominican Republic, and so we're just gonna debrief our vacation, talk about some pros and cons, what we recommend, what we would have done differently, and why we needed to go on vacation.
You said what we would do differently or anything?
Yeah. Pros, cons.
Okay, so one thing, first of all, I loved it. I give it, we all said like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
But honestly, even coming back and feeling how relaxed I feel, I could give it a 10 for how relaxing it was.
That's so true.
Right? And I think only thing I would do differently was maybe, I want to stay at more adult-only resorts. So this one that I picked out, it said adult-only, like that's a part of the name. But it ended up being a family side and an adult side, and we ended up being on the family side, but we bought access to the adult side. And the food, the service, everything was better on the adult side, which I think is messed up because they pay their money too on the family side. Everybody pays their money to be out, so I feel like everybody deserves good service. But I was really glad that we had access at least, cause
we would have even known that it was better on the other side. Yeah. We just strictly had to stay on the family side because the food wasn't the same. It was like very Americanized as far as like hot dogs, hamburgers, fries. They still had some cultural food, but wasn't the same. The service, the people were a lot more, I would say, over it, rude almost. Not like really like bluntly rude, but you
just
could just tell
they weren't accommodating. So I think what I would do differently, I would be on some type A person when I book the next vacation and really calling and making sure that I'm in the adult side. All of these different things that I would want, I would just make sure before paying the money for sure. Yeah. That's the only thing I would do differently. Other than that, we had a great time. We spent a lot of time relaxing on the beach. Yes. With the preferred membership thing that we bought, we had service on the beach, so I had a great time.
We had access to the rooftop. That was really nice. The views were nice. We had a suite room, which was beautiful. Yeah. So 10 out of 10 for the relaxation, 8 out of 10 for like the overall experience, just because of those few things. Also, the restaurants on the resort closed so early. They closed at like 10, and I just feel like, we're out, especially at the beach, and we've been drinking and all that. Like, I'm hungry, so having like a little bit more options for food would have been nice. But other than that, I think, like she said, just staying somewhere that was probably exclusively adults only, because them kids, I guess the kids was getting on their nerves, y'all, because they was very impatient. And that was
pretty much vibes is better when it's adult only. Like, I love a good kid, but
facts. I will also know a little bit more Spanish because y'all, the language barrier.
Lex was really like challenging me. Like, I was remembering a lot of my Spanish because for some reason she randomly wanted to know everything in Spanish.
Because they didn't know anything. I'm having a gesture. I'm like, what's fork? They don't even, they're not understanding what I'm trying to say. And it just made me realize, like, I'm the problem. Like, how am I going to these people's country expecting them to know a language that's not native to them?
I guess. But it's a resort. I see what you mean. And maybe we sound like entitled or whatever. I get it.
Just knowing a little bit. Yeah. Like, you knew more than me.
Yeah.
She knew more than she remembered because I was asking her and she knew. And I'm like, see, I know hola.
Yeah.
En punta. Like, very, very un poquito. I need to adjust and learn. I would go back knowing just a little bit more conversation in Spanish.
Yeah.
I would do that differently.
For me, I've been to a lot of the Caribbean islands, and I would say DR is not a place that I care to go back to. Yeah. I think places that I don't get tired of is Mexico and Jamaica, for sure.
Love Jamaica.
Oh, and Costa Rica, but that's more like closer to South America. I don't think that's considered Caribbean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Costa Rica, but yeah, DR is like, it's nothing special about it. Like, if the service isn't good, all the Caribbean islands look the same. So if it's not going to be good, then I might as well just go to a different Caribbean island.
Facts. Where they're actually, we were saying that, we feel like Jamaica, the people are just a lot more happy.
Yeah.
A lot more just happy to be alive and accommodating.
And MJ is illegal out there. We ain't going to talk too much about it, but...
Right, La Mota? It's not legal out there. It's very illegal. And we like to have a good time, okay? So yeah, I'm not feeling to go back, but I've been in Jamaica once. I could go back over and over again.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Yeah. Also, my last thing I will point out is the men.
What about them?
They was flamboyant.
Oh God!
I'm just noticing the differences, y'all, and they're a little bit more sassy than I prefer. So there we have it. I'll leave it at that.
It's just that she be thinking everybody is gay though. And I really don't be thinking that. I know that there's a difference between Black American men, Caribbean men, all different types, just cultural wise and everything.
Yes.
There's also a difference between YNs and HNs. And she love a good HN. And so that's why she think everything outside of HN is gay.
I'm just saying, y'all, there was a little bit more hand movement and a little bit more sass. Like, they really wanted to go back and forth with us. I had 2 experiences like that. Well, I'm not used to men actually wanting to go back and forth with you unless they were...
How you doing? Yeah, okay, whatever.
But, all right, y'all, let's get into our question. All right, so today we're going to talk about the trash taking itself out and all the things that play into that. So... name a time you immediately removed yourself from a situation.
Ooh-wee. So, honestly, it'd be so many in my life. I feel like, I have a good one about a friend. So this was in college, and it was my senior year, and we were cool maybe for like 1 year prior to that, and she was mad cool. Like, we had similar interests and stuff like that. But I could tell she was a little off, but it just wasn't coming off to me yet, so I didn't know what it was about to be. But it was about to be spring break, and she said, "Oh, do you want to come to Miami with me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And so somehow we ended up being in a group chat. I don't know if she was in my friend group chat, because I feel like it was more of my friends in a group chat, but they were talking about plans for spring break. And I said, "Oh yeah, I'm going with her to Miami." And she said, "When did I ever say you was coming with me?" Or something like that. And I was like, whoa. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
That was so weird. And it was like, I literally immediately removed myself. And I probably still went to Miami and did everything that I wanted to do. And I literally never talked to her again, because, are you trying to embarrass me? Like, what are you doing?
You're trying to play me.
And it's like, I felt so crazy. I think I had texted her on the side, like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you acting like you didn't just ask me to come on a trip with you? And she was really confused. And I was like, yeah, I'm done. And I literally never talked to her ever again.
Yeah, and see, that intuition of knowing something is a little off.
I just didn't know what it was, but like, low key, no shade. I don't know how I feel about people that's like always wanting to be high. Like, I feel like they have bipolar issues sometimes.
And what are you avoiding?
Yeah.
Because you're masking something with like excessively smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you want to numb it. So,
I literally I don't care. I didn't care. Like, my feelings with her, I was just like, oh, you thought you was going to embarrass me? Okay, bye. Like,
and that's so weird to say.
Literally.
And then like, maybe she is a little bipolar or a little schizophrenic, because if you don't, or maybe you really was just that high that you don't remember, but I'm going to need you to scroll back.
But it literally wasn't even a conversation that was mad long ago. Because, you know, if you was in school, like, you talk about spring break, and spring break is around
the corner. Right. That's like, all you had to do was scroll up, baby. You see when you asked me that. I'm like,
immediately remove myself.
Okay, period. I think recently I immediately removed myself from a situation where I had this manager at my job, and she was always talking to me about her guy problems. Mind you, she's 20 years older than me. And so some of the things that she was talking about, I was like, I just cannot even fathom going through that at that age, because I'm learning those lessons right now. But moral of the story is, she left the job, and she was still trying to be like in contact with me and stuff like that. She was instead of going back into a 9 to 5, she was trying the entrepreneurial route, and so she was selling plates I bought one of her plates to support. Food was good. I knew that already. She could cook. But somehow somebody told her something. It was like fake, like some he say, she say stuff. And tried to say that I said the food was nasty, like talking about her behind her back at the job.
That's childish.
And so she's texting me like, why would you say that? Like trying to go in.
She never asked you, did you say that? She just went immediately into that?
Yeah, she's like immediately, mind you, she's like 42. There's a little context there. Okay. And excuse me. And yeah, like tried to go in on me in a group chat though. We was in a group chat with two of the other workers or one of the other workers that worked there. And I was like,
in a group chat?
Yes. And I said, I never, ever said that. I don't do the drama, do not put words in my mouth. And I removed myself in the group chat and I said, I have nothing else to say to y'all. And that was it. Because we are too grown for that.
Did she ever apologize?
No.
I don't know who people think they are trying to make an example out of people in a group chat. Because
It's not it.
You're giving the example.
I was like, you may not be too grown for this, but I am. I'm not going to go back and forth about something I never said. And then to not ever say anything, like, ask me. I was like, no, this is too much. I do not like drama, y'all.
That's
so
crazy.
I immediately was like, I am never speaking to you again. Boop, and left. And she still hits me time to time when she asks for something. But like, I see it. I'm like, hey, what's up? She'll be like, I need this and this and that. I don't respond because I'm not your assistant. So yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, how do you decipher between treatment that you can forgive and forget versus what you can't?
I think I decipher between treatment that I can forgive and forget and can't is when it like lingers too much on my heart where I start to feel like it's altering my personality, like how I actually like live my day to day because it's so like negatively impacting my heart that I actually can't let it go. Like I'm trying, but it's showing up in so many different ways and I don't like it. Like I realize that it's changing maybe who I am in a way where it's like dawning on me in a negatively way. And so I'm like, I can't have to remove that treatment and I can't forget it. I can forgive you, but I won't forget it.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I definitely feel similar to that. I think also it's about the intention. And that really takes emotional maturity for me. Because there's been times like even in the past, do I want to get personal? Yes. Just a little bit. Do it for the pod. Do it for the pod. But like in my past relationship, like we had 2 arguments where we were both pretty tipsy. And I don't, you get biased when you start telling the story. But I don't know if I was really as lit, but it was like certain things were said that actually really hurt my feelings. Like the next day and the weeks and weeks and weeks after. And it's like, I can't forget it because it really did hurt me. But the emotional mature person is like, but was that really their intention?
Right.
I don't know. And then, they're just going to say, yeah, no, that wasn't my intention, like whatever. So I feel like I decipher based on how it makes me feel, but trying to be more mature and thinking about, like, was it their intention? Because sometimes you can be left with a feeling, but that necessarily wasn't the intention of what happened. And
typically, of course, people will say that wasn't my intention. Like, I don't think anybody has ever said, like, yeah, my intention was to beat you.
Some people really be
evil like that.
Yeah.
Wow. So amen for not experiencing that response because I don't even know what I would say back to that. But yeah, it like she said, the intention behind it because if you care about me and your intention really wasn't to like do damage to me and it was just something that was said and things like that, it's like okay. But when it starts to like dawn on your heart like that, it's like I don't know if I forget this.
Especially
like, it will linger in my core memory.
If we're close, it's like you kind of have an idea of what you're doing to me and how that's going to affect me. So yeah, I forgive you, but sometimes you really just gotta dip.
Especially when you're aware, like you know your person. So yeah, it's a no for me. It's a no for me.
Yeah.
All right. So next we're going to discuss, because we just mentioned forgiveness and like what you can and can't forget. And so now we're going to discuss this perspective I read in my book, y'all. I'm almost done.
Finished, y'all. The podcast is helping her finish the book.
Please clap it up for me, okay? It takes me so long to finish a book. So I'm almost done. And this perspective is talking about forced forgiveness. And I'm just going to read a small part of it because it was really interesting. And we're just going to talk about if we necessarily agree with it or not. All right, so There's a term we use in therapy called forced forgiveness. Sometimes people feel that in order to get past trauma, they need to forgive whoever caused the damage, i.e. the person who sexually assaulted them, the burglar who broke into their house, a gang member who killed your son. They're told by people that until you can forgive, you'll hold on to anger. However, people feel pressured to forgive and then end up believing that something's wrong with them if they can't quite get there, that they aren't enlightened enough or strong enough or compassionate enough. So as a therapist, I say this: you can have compassion without forgiving. There are many ways to move on and pretend to feel a certain way, and pretending to feel a certain way isn't one of them. And that's called forced forgiveness. So this is my first time hearing about this perspective they use in therapy. And I don't necessarily think I can agree how that is possible, to have compassion for someone and their actions but not have forgiven them for them. It feels a little bit contradicting, because I feel like to have true compassion, you have to let go of the situation in a sense where it no longer is an emotional tie towards it. And forgiveness serves that purpose in a way. Like, I forgive you, therefore I no longer am emotionally tied to a sense where this hurts me or I'm angered by it, anything like that. And compassion for me goes hand in hand. Like, I understand why you did it, or maybe I don't even understand why, but I understand that you did it and that it did hurt me, but I've been choosing to release it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I don't think I agree with it.
I think it's a little bit of wordplay for sure. I think that's a great idea for somebody that's struggling through forgiveness. But I feel like also biblically we have to forgive, like the path to righteousness, but not just, oh, I'm trying to be righteous, but also like to clean your heart.
Exactly.
You have to humble yourself and forgive. Like, this is not easy, cleaning your heart. It's not. But to walk around and just not, I don't know, for me personally, because they're saying basically you can have compassion for somebody and not forgive. But like Lex is saying, like, compassion is like a higher level of understanding. So if I understand why you did something, or why you can't be whoever it is that I'm asking you to be, or whatever the thing is, it's really like why you did something. I understand why you did it, because you don't know no better. Like I said that before, and we was laughing about it, but it's like,
it's true.
Yeah. I think it's different. It is probably even harder to forgive somebody if you know they did it on purpose. But I think the forgiveness is more for us, so that you can feel better and live your life and be okay. Like, when they be saying your heart needs to be as light as a feather, it's not going to be as light as a feather if you don't forgive those people.
Exactly. It's going to continue to dawn on your heart. And I mean, letting go is like, the person who wronged you, they are moving on.
Yeah.
They have already moved on. They're letting it go. Therefore, for you to fully let it go, you have to forgive them and let it go as well, because then it's hurting you. It's still just hurting you. And that person who did the wrong is living on and moving on with their lives.
Right.
And so it's just like, instead of holding on to that, why don't you do the same and move on?
Yeah. And I firmly believe that we all eventually attract what we are. So I'm going to forgive you, although you did whatever you did that hurt my feelings or whatever. But I know that you're not capable of attracting anything better than you, because of where you are. So, like, I don't care. Like, I feel like it's your loss. Whatever the case may be, it's gonna come around. So
right. And so that mentality comes from forgiving, though.
Literally.
It doesn't come from you just having compassion for them, but still being like, that really hurt me, and I don't think I'll never let it go.
And
but I accept you, though. It's like, but do you?
What does that do for you, though?
Exactly.
I feel like, and also we have to make it a difference. There's a difference between forgiving people and, like, still cutting off access to somebody. Like that little story I gave about that girl. I don't care. I don't care. It's a great story to tell. How did you immediately remove yourself? But I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
I think, like she said, it's a great story to tell somebody, to kind of term in perspective, to tell somebody if they're working on forgiveness. But as a therapist, if I was a therapist, I would follow up and say, like, maybe you are experiencing forced forgiveness, but your goal should still be to forgive them eventually. Not saying in this present moment, they hurt you yesterday, you sitting here trying to forgive them today, so you're struggling with it. You feeling like you ain't never going to accomplish anything because you can't forgive them today. So you're struggling with forgiveness. But that don't mean never forgive them. Yeah.
And you have to stop being so worldly. Like, you have to know that there's something bigger than us. Like, for me personally, the goal is enlightenment and righteousness and stuff like that. I know whatever you're doing, whatever you just did to piss me off, life is so much bigger than that. And so I'm going to let it go. Like, it is what it is.
Because your goal is higher.
Literally. Yeah. Literally. And it's so crazy because at first when I was like not reading the Bible for myself and like hearing other people's perspective and stuff like that, I used to be thinking like that is just so much. Like, be quiet. Because like there was like elders in certain churches and stuff that would say like, y'all be reading all of these self-help books, like you need to read a Bible. And I used to be a little annoyed because I used to love me a good self-help book. And I'm not against the self-help book, but I think saying that, like, you shouldn't forgive people, like you can have compassion and not forgive. Baby, if Jesus had compassion and not forgave, we would be burning in hell right now. Like, exactly. So I'm straight.
And so, and that just, when reading the Bible for yourself and just knowing the word for yourself, like, that's that discernment. Because if you weren't aware, you'll be like, oh my goodness,
this is perfect.
All this time I never had to forgive people. Like, no,
that's perfect.
No, you didn't.
That makes so much sense.
That's not true. Like, I feel like, and like, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, I think it would still weigh on my heart in a sense where I would be being brought down.
Yeah.
And so you wouldn't be light as a feather, and you wouldn't even share a light or shine a light onto others because you are dim.
Literally. And every time you would hear about them or see them, you have compassion. You're still gonna have some feeling towards them.
It's gonna be a trigger.
And you're the one in chains.
Yeah. Triggered.
Oh, okay. When it comes to disrespect, where do you draw the line? And what does drawing the line mean to you?
Okay.
With all the attitude.
Okay. So I draw the line at disrespect. So like cursing at me, being like nasty and having attitude towards me for like no reason, calling me out my name, cheating, all the things that can fall under disrespect when you're in a relationship with a partner that you're saying that you care and love them. Drawing the line means to me like removing access to me, and so that's like becoming distant, voicing my feelings as well though, like telling you like, I don't accept this, I don't tolerate this, I would like for this to change if you want to continue anything with me, and if not, then we can move on and like end this. Yeah, like I feel like I don't tolerate it, so let's just cut it here if you're just going to continue to behave like this, because what we're not going to do is disrespect the queen.
Period. With all the attitude, like I said.
Not what we gonna do.
Yeah.
What about you?
So copy and paste, all of that. I think another thing that I draw the line at is if like I'm feeling like it's giving jealousy vibes, like whether that's friends or men, because men be saying some weird stuff too sometimes.
They do.
Trying to figure out how much you getting paid, how much is your bills. Like, you getting a little too comfortable asking me all them damn questions. For the girls, I don't care. I always say that. Me and Lex be saying that, like, if you want to know how much I make, how much is this, well, I don't care. Because if you're trying to come in or you're trying to figure out how you can do it, I love that. But I just feel like, as ladies, men don't need to know all of that business. Unless that's your man, for real, for real. If you're dating, don't ask me something like that.
Unless you're paying.
Yeah, like, so snooping around, I draw the line at that, and all the disrespect that she said, for sure. And, like, just commenting on me and my looks in a way that's, like, you're trying to purposely put me down. Like, I don't know where that's coming from, but I don't like that.
Some people are really mean out here.
Facts. Yeah. Like, for real. So I definitely draw the line at all of that. And then what was the second question? What does drawing the line mean? So I'm definitely going to say something, because you're not going to exist in my reality and think that you're just going to get away with it. I'm going to say it straight out. And probably the most awkward part, one that would be to point out, is probably jealousy, because that's just so weird to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely say something, and then depending on what it is, we don't have to talk no more.
Yeah.
Literally.
Removing that access.
Literally.
Because what else what are we serving each other? What purpose are you serving in my life at that?
Right.
If you are doing those things as far as disrespect, jealousy, all those things like that.
Yeah.
So.
And we're older. Like, you know better. It's not like we're trying to correct a toddler or something. Like, you know better. And so I'm good.
Facts.
Yeah.
Move on to the next. Okay. How do you stand firm on your boundaries while dating?
I wonder what they are.
And there you have it, folks.
No, because like the basic stuff, like of course disrespect And you know,
but what are the other boundaries in dating? Well, we can get into that.
I guess because like I haven't really been dating like hella people, so I guess that's why I say it like that. But okay, we could give a good example. Like we went out a couple weekends ago. I like to make things sound like it was so long ago, so you don't know what I'm talking about. But we were out and this nice fella let us in his
it's the fella for me.
This nice fella let us in his section, and he was very nice,
yeah,
and stuff like that.
He was kind.
Yeah, he was kind. I love a good kind man.
It was not giving weird.
It wasn't giving weird at all, right? So he asked for my number after. Sure, gave him my number. I draw the line. This is a great one. I draw the line at like, if you don't offer to take me out, I'm not your pen pal, babe. I'm not that.
Yeah.
And also, it's like, just like you, like him, whatever. Like, we're all busy, so I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not doing it. I literally type all day, my wrist be hurting. I don't want to text you all day. So I draw the line at, like, if you don't initiate a date within the first couple of days that we're talking, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah. Because it's like, what's the
point? It's not because I'm trying to spend your money, nothing like that. I just think
it's a better way to get to know somebody.
Facts. Like, let's just stop wasting time.
Yeah.
So that's where I draw the line currently. Like I said, I haven't been dating for real. So I don't have nothing else to say. But I think that's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. I'm not out here dating like that either, but I would say the same thing. Like, if we're gonna be talking and stuff like that, you want to get to know me, ask to take me out so we can actually get together, be in person, and have a formal conversation versus like texting on the phone and stuff like that. I really not even know you that well to be on the phone with you for real. Like, oh hey, how was your day? Like,
yeah.
What are we talking about? Like, no. So I would draw the line at that. Like, that's a boundary. Mm-hmm. I would say another boundary would be just like maybe like your character, like that I can see from dating you. So like maybe your values and morals and your manners, like very big on manners. So if we are dating, how are you addressing me? How are you addressing others when we're out?
Right.
Because I love kind people. Like, how are you treating the service? How are you treating strangers who are out? Maybe, opening the door for not just me, but other people following behind us, things like that. I think that's just like a great boundary because I'm a very kind and considerate person. And I would just like to receive the same in a man I'm dating. So.
Yeah. I think another boundary that I'm standing firm on moving forward is the type of work that a guy does. Because we mentioned the HNs earlier. If you don't know what an HN is, baby, you don't know what it is.
And I don't just love HNs.
Okay. But I'm good off the trappers. I'm good. I'm good.
Trappers, scammers, robbers, and drug dealers. All of the above.
I'm straight.
Also, I can agree with that. And not saying that you have to be a 9-to-5 guy. But
no, I'm just straight off the HN.
The HN, but it's still going into the line of work. Because I also feel like if our line of work don't match where it plays a factor into our schedules, I'm not interested because I just don't see how it actually will work. And so that goes like people who work in the club and stuff like that. Like, you're getting off at like 4 a.m. Baby, I got off work at 5.
Yeah.
I'm not PM. I'm not finna be up on the phone waiting to hear from you at 11 to 8 p.m. and so forth. Like, it's just, we don't have that in common. We don't have that schedule in common, and I don't really prefer to deal with that.
Yeah, I like a little bit more stability, predictability, things like that.
Yeah, like I know that you will be off on the weekends or whatever the case may be, and we can have a good time, not every other weekend during the day.
Or barely hearing from you,
Yeah, it's just not given. It's just not, and maybe it works for somebody else who works that same schedule, which is great for y'all.
Good for you.
So yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm standing firm on as well.
Period.
What's something y'all standing firm on?
I would love to hear it.
Especially the ladies who are out here dating in these Atlanta streets.
Yeah, there's probably more we could have said if we were like in the streets really dating, but like I don't know right now.
Yeah, just like how we're hydrating, we're regrouping.
We're regrouping.
All
Come
right.
back later. Okay, so now it's time for our moment.
Let's get into our moment.
So if you're new here, moment is basically, it usually goes with the theme of the topic that we're discussing, and it's basically name a moment. So right now, the name a moment is name a moment when the trash took itself out. And it kind of goes back to the last question about how did you stand, or how do you stand on boundaries when dating. And I wanted to save it for now, but do you want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay, so name a moment when the trash took itself out. So sometime in history, because I'm not giving y'all timelines on nothing. I was talking to this dude. I was really low-key spinning the block a little bit, trying to see if the block got better. It's still trash on the street.
It's getting the feet wet.
It's still trash on the street, though. So basically, let me bring it back a little bit. So I was getting my hair done, and I was telling my hairstylist about the current situation. And she's married now. She's still, like, in her 30s or whatever. And she was telling me, like, girl, the man for you will change for you. And it doesn't have to be, you still want that person, but it's just, like, certain little aspects of them that you would prefer to change. And she was just giving examples of how literally she was damn near dating up until she got engaged. Which I feel like on some grown stuff is low-key more normal than people think. Like, I feel like we need to talk more to people that are older and kind of in situations that we are looking forward to.
Yeah.
Just to get an idea of what that actually looks like. So, yeah, she was saying she was dating up until she got engaged. This man stood out to her for a multitude of reasons or whatever. But what stood out to me in that conversation was that she said a man will change for you. Like, if that's your man and you're his potential
partner,
wife, he's going to change for you based off the things that you tell him or whatever. So, the moment that the trash took itself out, spent the block a little bit, and I was just saying, like, I was expressing that the communication wasn't enough for me, and it was based off of what they do, and honestly where they come from and all this other stuff, and that's why I said I'm done with HNs for real. But, like, even to the point where I'm picking up the phone and you saying, like, what's up, slime? Like, who are you talking to?
Not me.
Who are you talking to?
Baby, I'm grown.
And I had to catch myself because I was, like, literally, like, I'm allowing this a little bit because I have history with you and I know you. But if I would have just met you, I had to keep asking myself, like, if I would just met this man, would I really be giving him the time of day? No, sir. So, the trash took itself out because I guess he got tired of hearing me say little things too, like about the way he communicates. And it's not even just him saying ghetto stuff. It's literally like we're talking a little bit throughout the day and then you got to do stuff, whatever, you're forgetting, or we're on the phone, I'm going to call you back. I don't speak to you until whenever, however.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate stuff like that. And that's not ew. Like, that hasn't been my dating experience. So, ew. You know? So, I keep saying the trash took itself out. So basically, I guess they got fed up and they were like, I just want to let you know that, basically saying like, I am who I am. Like, I feel like you don't be saying everything that you want to say, and you don't need to be liking, like, don't like me for the potential of me, like me for who I am now, because maybe eventually my communication will get better. But basically saying like, I'm not going to change.
Right.
And it is what it is. And they were like, oh, I love you for you. I love you for all the things that you've done for me. That was the examples they were giving were things that I've done for them and how I've been there for them, which I am starting to see that people, the HNs, love a good struggle love and how you can be there for them and how you could ride or die and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
It's a very transactional
love. And I was like, okay, so what's the reciprocation though? What is the reciprocation? And it's like they just love a good character of a woman, like, oh yeah, she gonna be there for me. She gonna be there for me. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do?
Right.
What are you gonna do? So after that phone call, I had a really a good realization. I was like, oh no, I'm removing myself. Like, I was giving too much credit for the fact that we had a past, but like I was just learning that I have grown so much and you're really childish.
Yeah.
The emotional intelligence is not there. And the conversation was had at the wrong time. And they knew it was the wrong time. And they got off the phone like, oh, but we can talk about this later. And I was like, no. I basically hung up. Like, I'm good. Mm-hmm. And I just was like, it ended up being a text conversation. I was like, thank you for being honest, but I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm
and
good.
That's how the trash was.
The trash took itself out because the trash, basically said, I'm not going to change. So if you don't like this right now, then we don't need to go no further. Oh, baby. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for letting me know.
Amen.
Thank you for letting me know. Sooner than later, honey.
Exactly. And amen for the growth. Amen for the awareness.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't have that, it wouldn't have even been that deep for you.
Yeah, and I think oftentimes women, we still be wanting to change somebody. Baby, kick the on.
Right. I cannot convince you.
No.
And I know we talked about that before. I think that was just last episode, talking about change. And we're not here to persuade. We're not here to convince.
I'm not.
So that was her standing firm on that boundary right there.
Yeah.
I'm not accepting less than what she deserves.
Yeah.
If you're struggling with that, do the same.
I don't know. Read the Bible.
Read the Bible, build that relationship with the Lord.
Like, it's really not cliche. Like, I feel like before, in that energy of wanting to change people and chase and trying to figure out why it's not working, it's because, like, I was empty inside. And I was trying to fill it with other people. But now I'm just like...
You're content with who you are.
Literally, I don't care. Like, thank you for being honest.
Yeah, and that's it. And we talked about that conversation and everything like that. Like, literally, him just not knowing how good things can get if you are open and accepting to change.
Yeah,
especially if you want to keep somebody in your life.
Love is like a humble thing. Love is like something where you have to evolve and accept correction and stuff like that. And I'm not perfect, trust me.
Exactly.
I have been corrected and not liked being corrected. But I think like overall with time, and that was a great experience to teach me like, I also like when people upset me and stuff like that. I like to see like, is there any ways that I perform like that person? Because what is the lesson here? And there's definitely times in life where I've been like, no. But now it's like, okay, if something is worth it, you're gonna put the work in to keep it. So
right,
yeah.
Or at least be open to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just strictly say I may eventually change. You removed yourself, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so my time, I will say, is I was dating this guy in college, and off and on, he was going through different things externally, like getting his car broken into, having situations with his family and stuff like that. And it would be random moments where I would just not hear from him. Like, he would just go ghost, and then I would be like texting, calling him, like, what's going on? We was just talking yesterday, and now you're going a whole week without talking to me and stuff like that. And that communication was just very poor, the lack of communication, I would say. And so eventually, I feel like him taking the trash out would be like him just removing himself, like to the point where I was just like, I'm not gonna continue to chase a conversation with you for you to explain to me what is actually happening, causing you to respond or not respond, versus you just saying, hey, I have a lot going on and I just need to take a step back from dating. That would have been the grown and mature thing to do, but he just decided to go the route of just going ghost to the point where he went ghost, and I just completely left you. Whenever you did come back, I just did not respond.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we're wasting time, you're wasting my time, and I'm not here for it because I know that's not what I deserve. So
right.
He removed himself.
Good.
In the trash, I don't know where he is today, but the trash is out.
Basically, and we have to free ourselves like from lustful experiences, and I know it's like easier said than done for sure, but those be the most experiences where you're just wasting your fucking time, like for real.
Yeah, and like trying to fill a void.
Yeah.
Whatever that lust is bringing, whether that's companionship, comfort, familiarity, like it's bringing something to it. It's serving something in your life. So
yeah, just
removing that lust and removing that void that you're trying to fill with the wrong thing, and fill it with the Word of God.
For sure. And just like, I guess it depends on what you're looking for, but I think the men that we choose have to be so intentional to the point where they have a plan for you that includes you. Like, you shouldn't be trying to, like, why am I not in the plan? Like, how am I going to be in the plan? No. Like, let him really come to you like, this is what I want to do and this is where I see you in my life. That's the only way it's going to work for us. We spend way too much time trying to change somebody. See ya.
Let them go.
See ya. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for riding the wave with us.
We'll see y'all next week. Same time, same vibe. Bye.